We're going to have a look now at dynamic blocks within AutoCAD 2010. Now the interface for creating dynamic blocks has been enhanced and has been changed slightly. However, dynamic blocks still follow the same dynamic blocks process that they have done in previous versions of AutoCAD since AutoCAD 2006. So let's have a look at our objects here on the screen right now. What we have is a group of lines. As you can see, they're all separate lines that form an image there of a telephone and its handset. So what we're going to do, we're going to make that into a block. Now blocks are extremely useful. They are basically content reuse within a drawing. So once I've made this into a block, I can reuse it over and over again in this drawing. I can export it out to another drawing as well if I want to. I can also make it dynamic and apply dynamic parameters to it to make it do things when I insert it as a block into the drawing. So let's make this into a block. Now we've got the block panel here, which is on the Home tab. So let's go to the block panel here, and I've got either Insert, and you'll notice that I've got Create, Edit, or Single. So what I can do there is edit attributes in a block reference. We're not going to cover attributes in this Quick Start course. They will be in the 2D Basic Concepts course for AutoCAD 2010. So I need to create a block. So I click on Create, and the block definition dialog box appears like so. Now imaginatively enough, we're going to call it phone, like so. Now what I have to do now is set all of the settings for this block. So the first thing I need to do is specify a base point here. There's base point just there. I click on pick point, and I'm going to use this top corner here, this one here, specify insertion point. I hover over the endpoint, snap with the object snap there, and left click. As you can see, it now has X and Y coordinates for that base point. Now those X and Y coordinates are not fixed. What we've done there is select the corner of the phone to insert it into the drawing or any other drawing. I now need to select the objects that are going to make up the phone here in the objects part of the dialog box. I'm going to convert the existing object into a block anyway once I've selected the objects. Notice no objects selected right now. I click on the Select Objects button here. It takes me into the drawing. I'm going to do a quick crossing selection window, so 2 left clicks like so, and it selects all of the objects. And I'm just going to press Enter there to confirm those objects, and as you can see in the dialog box now, I get a little preview just there, and it tells me I've got 31 objects selected. Annotative behavior we're going to ignore. We cover that in the Basic 2D Concepts course. Scale uniformly though is useful. That scales uniformly in the X and Y direction when you use the scale command on a block. And always with blocks, allow exploding. You can explode the block back to its original objects using the explode command. You might want to do that to explode this block, make some slight changes, and save it as a different block. Perhaps it might be a slightly different handset, for example. The block unit is millimeters, it's a metric drawing in this case, and open in the block editor. I'm going to tick that box there because I want to show you the block editor for dynamic block editing. I click on OK now, and the screen changes and I go into a different area, so to speak. I'm not actually in the drawing anymore. I'm actually in, as you can see from the tab at the top there, the block editor. You'll notice these are color coded. You get a sort of olivey color for the block editor now, so you know where you are. They're all sort of color coded now. It makes life so much easier. And what you've got here, you've got your block authoring palette. Now this particular block, I'm going to apply a flip action. Before I apply a flip action though, I have to apply the flip parameter. So I go to the parameters tab here, click on it, and as you can see there's various options available, and there's my flip parameter option there. I click on it on the palette, come into the drawing area, and it asks me to specify the base point of the reflection line. A flip is like a mirror command. So I'm going to go from there, left click, to there, left click. That is where I'm going to flip along that edge of the phone. Now you'll see I've got a label there. I'm just going to place that just to the right there. It doesn't matter where it goes because you'll only ever see it in the block editor. You won't see it on the drawing. We get 2 little icons appear. There's our flip icon, and we get a little exclamation mark. Now the reason that we've got that is we haven't selected the objects that are going to perform the flip action. So we go to the Actions tab now, and we go here, select the flip action here, come into the drawing area again now, and it asks you to select the parameter. Now I can select the line, I can select the exclamation mark, or I can click on the text for the flip state. Doesn't matter which, all of them are part of the parameter. So now once I've selected it, it goes select objects. We need to select everything. So left click down here, crossing window selection, left click again, selects all the objects, press enter to confirm, and you'll see now there's our little flip action. These have changed now in AutoCAD 2010. You get an icon now instead of text like the flip state. So you get a little icon now telling you you've got a flip action there. Now everything is done. Now what I want to do is save the changes to the block, go back into the drawing and test the block. Wrong. AutoCAD 2010 now has a test block option. So it opens a window to test the block. So I don't even have to test it in the drawing itself. I can test it separate to the drawing. So I click on test block, takes me into the test block area. If I click here, like so, there's my block, there's my insertion point for my block that I selected earlier, there's my flip action there. Click on the flip action, and as you can see, it works. It flips the phone from left to right, like so. So I can now close my test area here, test block window. Takes me back into the block editor. If I click on close again now, it'll prompt me now, do I want to save changes to the phone block? Yes, I do. So I save the changes by clicking here, and I'm now back in the drawing. It looks exactly the same. It's not. Let's just zoom out slightly and just pan a little bit. If I click on that block now, there's my flip action, and it works in the drawing as well because I've already tested it. This is a nice little feature as well in AutoCAD. If you've got a block and you've given it a base point, it places a grip on that base point, and I can drag the block around. I can place it anywhere I like in my drawing. Isn't that easier than trying to move all those lines around that originally made up that phone? Content reuse and dynamic blocks. Fantastic in AutoCAD 2010.